We are following all the news, especially the stock market. It's opening in the red just across the board. Look at your screen. This is all in response to President Trump's renewed threats. As you know, he said if there isn't a deal with Iran by 8 p.m. tonight, there will be horrific consequences. The president warning that a failure to reach that agreement would be unprecedented. His military response would be something we've never seen, and it would go against the nation's core infrastructure. The warning shots have already been fired. The U.S. has carried out strikes on Iran's Kharg Island overnight, Iran's primary oil hub. A White House official is confirming to NewsNation that the strikes were military targets and they were not oil, but oil is really at the crux of this, and we all know that. It's just because there is obviously blockage at the Strait of Hormuz. The president wants the waterway to be fully open, but Iran is really not showing any signs of backing down. In fact, Vice President JD Vance speaking just moments ago at a press conference in Budapest saying that he's optimistic Iran will meet the president's demand ahead of that 8 p.m. deadline.
I hope that they're smart. The president has set a deadline for about 12 hours from now in the United States. We're going to find out, but there's going to be a lot of negotiation between now and then, and I'm hopeful that it gets to a good resolution.
Hannah Brandt joins us now live at the White House. So, Hannah, what can you tell us about the latest warning? We're all sort of digesting this news overnight about the new strikes.
Elizabeth, that's right. A lot going on today in the run-up to this deadline, this crucial deadline that the president has set. And I want to start with what a White House official just told me, which is that the U.S. did strike those military targets on Kharg Island, which is Iran's primary oil terminal. And those strikes are significant, especially as President Trump just put out a new warning for Iran this morning. He put a post up on his Truth Social ahead of tonight's 8 p.m. deadline for Iran to make a deal. The president writing, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight," saying, "I don't want that to happen, but it probably will." The president in that post suggesting a deal with Iran's new leaders is still possible, saying maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. Now, speaking just a short while ago in Budapest, Vice President Vance did say tonight's deadline is firm, adding that these new strikes on Kharg Island are in line with the current U.S. strategy. Take a listen.
The president's deadline has been followed by us and everybody else, and he said very clearly, we're not going to strike energy and infrastructure targets until the Iranians either make a proposal that we can get behind or don't make a proposal, but he's given them until Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So I don't think the news in Kharg Island represents a change in strategy or represents any change from the President of the United States. He continues to say the deadline is 8 o'clock.
So all eyes on the clock as 8 p.m. draws nearer. President Trump did say he's not at all concerned that going after Iran's civilian infrastructure would be considered a war crime, even telling reporters he believes the Iranian people are willing to suffer some destruction of their infrastructure. He claims they overwhelmingly support the U.S. operation. And all of this is coming as behind-the-scenes negotiations playing out between U.S. leaders and Iranian leaders. Previously, President Trump had said those were going well, but he continues to say we'll see what happens tonight. President Trump also adding that now any deal with Iran would have to include restarting the free flow of traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, which, as you noted, Elizabeth, is really critical in this conflict.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.